what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is the day after Christmas, guys, December 26th. Man, it's Wednesday. We made it past Christmas. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. I hope you guys had a good time with family and friends and that everything worked out spectacularly for you. I hope you got what you wanted for Christmas, which hopefully was not a super massive long position on XBT. Hopefully your Christmas wish was a candle full of red candlesticks. However, that is exactly what Santa brought us for Christmas. All right, guys, we're not, again, it's going to be a quick show today, guys. I'm sorry about this. Not going to be able to do the full-length show. Twitch is not running. We had disabled it yesterday trying to get Alex to run, and we didn't remember to turn it back on. So I'm not going to restart the stream as I normally would. Again, I think we suffered from too many technical difficulties yesterday. So I do want to give a big thank you to Alex, and sorry, my voice is a little hoarse. A lot of running around and policing children during the Wise family Christmas. So voice is a little hoarse. I'm feeling good though, don't worry, not sick or anything. So we're just going to do a kind of a brief show today, guys. Just going to give you an overview of price. I'm not going to be able to actively trade probably for the next, maybe until tomorrow. I'm not currently in a position, so I'll just, but Alex is doing a fantastic job keeping the members group updated. I took a brief peek before the show. Again, everything's still a little kind of hectic over here with all the kids and all the family still over for the holidays. You know, I've got a big family, so they do like to kind of just sit and stay and not leave. So it's so cool. I love them. Let's check it here. So I won't be able to actively trade until tomorrow, but I will give you my analysis of the price and what I think the best option is today moving forward. I do see a potential trade on the table the way that I would take it. And again, as I said, Alex, first off, just a big shout out to Alex yesterday. We did have some technical difficulties. We were not able to do the live stream as we kind of wanted it. We're having some issues with his bandwidth, and then we had some issues with uploading the video that he prepared, so we didn't really do a show yesterday. But I do want to give him a big shout out. He did a fantastic job of trying to get everything up and running and keeping us keeping us online. And as far as keeping the members group updated for the premium subscribers, he's doing a fantastic job. I mean, I just poked my head in and checked this morning. I think he cashed out like 50% profits on just 2 shorts. The dude's a monster. So big shout out to Alex. He's a valued member of the team here, one of our best analysts. I couldn't do this without him. And Scott, doing a great job over the holiday seasons too, keeping everything updated. So I just want to give a big thank you out to everybody on the Kraken Cryptocurrency team. And I want to give a big, just Merry Christmas, post, kind of belated Merry Christmas, and give you guys a big thank you for supporting the stream, watching the show, coming by the Discord, liking, subscribing, following, doing everything, joining the Patreon. You guys have been really fantastic and excellent, and I look forward to a 2019 with you guys. We're going to be here every day doing this live, come rain, sunshine, snow, all that wonderful stuff. Okay, so let's get into the chat. Let's say, hey, Joey V, good morning, man. I did have a great Christmas. I hope you had one too. MT Coiner, what's going on, man? Good. Mike 500, what's up, man? Fifth Ronan, Ben Joseph, Ryan Panella, Todd Schultz, Summit, Schwartz 88, what's going on, man? And Beg Ferrati, what's going on, my friend? And Steven Caruso, Hugfest, Ryan Panella again. How you guys doing? Fantastic. Hope you guys are doing well today, the day after Christmas. I think, I'm kind of old fashioned. So as just as a father and everything, like I never want anything for Christmas. Like all I really want for Christmas is for my, kids to be doing well and for them to kind of get what they want and stuff like that. And, so my kids had my kids had a really good Christmas. It was a good day yesterday. So, and I hope your guys' Christmas went as well. So that's enough rambling from me. Let's see. Sakib Mahmood, what's going on, my man? Now, I do want to do some updates because I do see Mike 500 in here. So I was absentia yesterday, and I'm like 50-50 absentia today because I still have a lot of family. Again, I'm not going to be able to actively trade. I'm kind of leaning on the other analysts to do their thing, but I did want to pop on and do the show. So I know that Mike 500 was doing some kind of giveaway, Mike. I see in the chat. I don't really know anything about that. I didn't have a chance to really talk with Scott about it, so I'm going to... I know that... he's either holding on to that or doing that or something like that. I apologize for not kind of being up to speed on that, but he had sent me a message about that. So I will look fully into that if, we do have something going on, and I'll get all that cleared up or figured out for you, man. He'll probably text message me now and be like, oh, you should say this or do this and that and that. And then, I have not had a chance. I know that somebody sent me a DM. Hey Daniel, what's going on? I know that somebody sent me a DM and was talking about the $50 Christmas price prediction giveaway. We are still doing that. I just haven't. We had like 75 entries, so I do need to go through and look at all that and see who actually had the closest prediction. Looking at we are going to use, I said we were going to use the Bitstamp. So what was the actual candle open on December 25th, the close of the candle on December 24th? The close of the candle on December 24th was $3,779.99. Same thing, the open was the open on December 25th was $3,780. So that's the price that we're going to be using, $3,780, and whoever had the closest prediction to that will win the $50 Bitcoin giveaway. I'll probably be sending that out tomorrow. So give me a chance to get all the kids cleared out of the house, get all the family kicked out, and back on their way to whence they became, and I will make sure I get that sent out to the lucky winner. All right, Daniel, was I close? 3,700. Well, if there was nobody closer, then you're pretty darn close, man. All right, that means you'd only $80 away. So, all right, guys, let's get into it a little bit. Let's go over here to let's start with spot price. So we'll start with spot price. All right, let me get this all set up for you guys. Okay. So what do we got going on today? All right, well, here's the thing, man. Bitcoin did not kind of pause and establish strong supports on this rapid move back up, so the movement back down is going to be just as quick. Now, this is not really an area where I would be looking for a hardcore short at this point in time. I think that point is past. I think we do see a little bounce back up. Now, looking at this as I am looking at the daily chart on Bitstamp right here. Again, we weren't able to make it over these previous highs, this last distribution order block that I was talking about. In fact, we do see that that was the optimum point to enter into a short from, targeting that area. Now, I had said on my previous video when I was here on Monday that I was tentatively optimistically bullish and I was in a long position. That long position did get stopped out because we did come down back to the point of control on the BitMEX chart around 39.55, and we did get stopped out around that area. That's okay. We just reevaluate and look for the next trade. All right, so on the daily chart for spot price, we do see a couple things. We do see the confirmed crossover on the Fisher transform right here on yesterday's daily candle, but we're still above the zero line on the Fisher transform. So until on the daily chart we actually cross beneath, I still give Bitcoin the benefit of the doubt that it's going to remain in the positive. It's going to remain in the positive zone of its wave cycle. So I would still be looking for, until I get a confirmation where we do actually close below the zero line, I still have to tentatively be looking for an opportunity to take a long scalp up to an area where now I feel more comfortable shorting it based off horizontal support and resistance. Okay, let's see. I seem to have my again, things a little disorganized this morning, but it's all good. Let's go down to the 12-hour chart and see if I see any of that. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I just have those from. I guess I just had those on the other chart as well. So we'll look at that. We'll look at that when we get over there. So let's pull back up that volume profile so we can look at that point of control a little bit better. All right. Cool. So on spot price, daily point of control, let's actually take in this data right here. All right, so spot price, looking at daily point of control down at 3,386. That doesn't seem quite right. Okay, 3,386. So we do have this previous point of control right here. Okay, that's coming in around 3,968. All right. So broadly speaking, looking at spot price a little divergent from BitMEX price, because on BitMEX price, it actually looks a little bit more positive. Looking over here on spot price, now again, I did say that as long as the Fisher transform is above the zero line, I do have to give it the benefit of the doubt and assume that it is going to flip, potentially bottom above the zero line, which would be a good, look for me, or that would be a good, stronger call signal for me. Again, when the Fisher transform does cross above the zero line, that is the Fisher transform transforming the sine wave of price into a bell curve. So this is assuming that now the sine wave is going to remain in the positive aspect of its wave cycle, and until we actually get a confirmation where we do close below. Now, this would have been your strong call signal. Again, you do have the cross under, so if you're just trading your basic cross under strategy, you would have potentially been out of this trade around this area. Again, it sucks that you do have to wait for candle confirmation, but that's why you're not actually trading on the daily chart unless you're trading very large positions. Generally, you're going to use the daily chart to ascertain your your directional bias, and then you will zoom down into your lower time frames, your meso time frames, your micro time frames. Generally, if you're a beginner, I always recommend that individuals just pick a few time frames to trade off of. So one thing that I do like to do is I like to use the daily or the 12-hour chart to ascertain my directional bias, and then when I'm actually looking for a potential trade to take, I will zoom down to the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the 30-minute chart to actually figure out what trade I want to take. Now, if you are a beginner trader, generally you want to start with the daily and the 1 hour. So, or the daily and the 4 hour is a good opportunity for you. I think that if you are a beginner trader, that going down to something like the 15-minute, the 30-minute, I think that's not going to be helpful for you. You're going to get way too many signals, and if you are a beginner, it's going to be unclear of you what signals to take because you're going to be getting just hit with so much noise. As you become more experienced and more comfortable with trading and ascertain your style and everything, then you'll be able to kind of zoom down to those time frames a little bit better, and they won't be so confusing for you. But still, I know a lot of very successful traders that still only use the basic 12-hour, 1 hour, 4 hour daily chart, and that's all they need. All right, Brandon Murray, what's going on, man? Bought Monero at the dip again. I bet it will go to 4,400. Right on, man. Knit and Soki, hey, what's going on, dude? Opened my first trade today. Let's hope it goes well. Congratulations to you, man. I hope it does well for you too. Bitcoin, Sakid Mahmood says, Bitcoin, a lot of people are speculating an inverse head and shoulder pattern for ING. What's your take on this? Oh, forming. Okay, my bad. What's your take on this? Yes, so the inverted head and shoulders pattern we had been charting out for a while. Again, I don't seem to have my drawings on this chart, which is kind of concerning. Maybe somebody snuck onto my TradingView account while I was asleep. Maybe Santa deleted all my my lines. Yeah, the only thing that I have on here right now is that measured move of the falling wedge. And again, I've gone on record. I do not like taking measured moves off wedges. Not even really triangles, so to say. But I will do triangles. But falling wedges and wedges of all favorite chart pattern to trade because I've seen them actualize so many times to the upside or the downside. Okay, so that's a little bit clear. Now that I've refreshed the page, we can actually see that on spot price, we do have the point of control coming in around 38.6 for me. 2 negatives out of 4 metrics that I'm looking for here. Price is currently trading, price closed underneath the point of control. That means that at this point in time, just looking at the volume profile, you're not looking for an opportunity to go long until price is able to close above the point of control. That's your call signal. So right now, I mean, fundamentally looking at this, you're looking for an opportunity to go short. However, looking at the potential inverted head and shoulders pattern that Bitcoin is forming, and I've talked about that at length. If we go over here to, I think actually I got to look at the 4 hour chart to see my drawings for that. That's interesting. I'm going to have to redo all this. That's cool. I'll probably do that on the stream tomorrow because it seems that Santa must have snuck into my TradingView account and deleted all my measured move lines. That's all right. It's okay. It's a good opportunity to redo that live on the stream and so you guys can actually see the measurements and everything that I've done. If you go back and look at Monday's video, you'll be able to see ad nauseum and at length the measured movements that I've done. But again, that's something that I think we can do tomorrow. So again, so the Fisher transform giving us a crossover on the daily chart on Bitcoin, and we are trading underneath the point of control. So that's 2 negatives. So fundamentally, at this point in time, you would be looking for an opportunity to go short. Now, I don't think that that is actually the best trade that I would like to take at this point in time. I think that a better trade actually is, since the fact that we are returning to a previous support that had been, so we had support here, it broke through here on the first go through, and then it broke through as resistance. So the first pass through, I think that this probably does. This area right here does hold as support. This area around 3,700 probably does hold as support. As you can see, we do have a double wick down to that area as support. This would be an opportunity to buy for me and looking for, at the very least, a scalp trade back up to that $3,900 area. And if we go over here and look at BitMEX, we can actually see how I've charted that out there. We do have the day's potential trade charted out here. Again, this is the 4 hour chart, so let's go into the 1 hour chart so we can see this a little bit clearly. And let's auto that baby. Okay, so yeah, we do have an area that acted as support twice here. Acted as support here, acted as support here, and then it broke down, and then this became the kind of deciding line for us to move back up into this area right here. So we do have this very shallow, again, it's a very ugly like cut pattern, very ugly kind of inverted head and shoulders pattern, as we can see here. We do have the left shoulder, we do have the head, we do have the right shoulder potentially forming right here. And again, I had said this on Monday's stream. I said that, okay, looking at this, looking at how little we actually did retrace here on this, I said I don't see this. It might be difficult for us to to actually actualize and form this. Now, again, on Monday, I was potentially bullishly optimistic, looking for those upside targets all the way up to 5,000. Now, we didn't have that. We did actually get faded from that resistance line as well. And again, I was able to get out of the trade at 39.55 because we did close below that previous point of control. Again, we have it up there. Looking at it now, we see that that point of control had actually shifted up to around 39.80. That's fine. But we were out of the trade at 39.55. So that's all right. We were able to miss the majority of the down movement right here. And so this is the potential trade that I would be looking for today. Again, we do have this return back to this previous accumulation area where we did get the breakout, and that confirmed the upwards movement right here. That's not really congruent to any point of control, except if you still trading underneath that point of control and above the hourly point of control right here, depending on how you move the chart, depending on what volume profile aspect you look at, depending on the data range that you take in here. But this would be the trade that I'd be looking at right here. Again, we do have this previous resistance area, and here's the candle that broke it, came back and pulled down to test that area as support right there. So that would be acting as my stop loss, this area right at 36.41, and I would potentially be looking to go long around this area. And again, my first take profit target would probably be around this $39.50, $3,900 area. If I were to actually chart it out using the method that I do, my first take profit target would be right here at 39.03. Now, what happens when we get to that area? Would I be looking for that as an opportunity to sell, or would I be looking for that as an opportunity to scale into a longer-term long position? Well, at this point in time, again, I won't be actively trading this. I just want to put out the trade that I do see on the potential table right here. Again, I would be looking for a movement back up to potentially this area right here to look for a potential short. Again, that's the only trade that I see on the table right now, the only one that I would be technically interested in taking. And again, I like this because your stop loss is fairly tight. You're able to know that you're wrong immediately. If this level does break down, then again, you are breaking down below resistance, or excuse me, support. And again, that might be an area where I'm looking to go short from today. But I don't think that happens on the first go through. I think that we do probably see a bounce from this area back up to that $3,900 area. And then whether that becomes a sell, most likely will be a sell, or whether that becomes a scale in long, depends on how volume and action, it depends on how volume and price action occurs at that area. So LTC partners with UFC tweet. Nice. Brandon Murray says, only Head & Shoulders is my shampoo. You guys are funny. Hey, Christian Debick, what's going on? How is Croatia doing this morning? Yeah, and I guess to chart it out the full way, it would be a buy between 37.65 and 37.20 with a stop at 36.41. Now, you could play this tighter if you wanted to, because this area has already been tested. So this level of support right here, has already been hunted. So you would be okay if you did want to set a tighter stop and set your stop perhaps around 36.70 as well. That way you'll know you're wrong immediately. Do I think we're going under 3,600 within a day or two, or above 3,900? Okay, so looking at this again, since the Fisher transform is still in the positive aspect of its wave cycle, we did break through right here. I do have to give Bitcoin the benefit of the doubt and assume that we will break through. However, the fact that we did form a lower high, we formed a lower closing high, and the fact that we did have, again, the violent dump doesn't really concern me. I could have and should have seen that coming based on the fact that we didn't really form these strong supports, and we were coming up to that significant resistance order block area, again, as you can see right here on spot price. So that big decline doesn't really concern me. The fact that we moved up on high volatility, we should pull back on high volatility to test support. Now, again, lower high, lower lows. So fundamentally, that's not the most positive thing in the world. Do I think this is an area where we're probably going to get a potential bounce up to 3,900? Yes, just based on the candlestick pattern as well. And again, you know, this volume isn't overly impressive as well. Yes, this second upthrust was on low volume, so that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't really look like a, I know some people are saying, okay, well, that's a double top. No, that's not a double top. All that is just a lower high on less volume. You know, kind of, and again, it happened on a holiday too, guys. So not a lot of people actively trading. So the weight that you put on this, you have to filter that through the idea that yes, this was a holiday. Yes, there were a lot of people actively trading. You're probably not going to get clear signs of what the market's going to actually do, what strong directional bias that you should have until probably either later on this week, if not even like this Sunday. Hey, Crypto Saint, thanks, man. Is this time of year particularly bearish for crypto? Christmas, New Year, early January? No, I mean, you know, fundamentally, this is typically an area of time where all markets are bullish. Again, looking how Bitcoin is responding right now to you know, kind of to how the traditional markets are just absolutely collapsing. Bitcoin actually holding up pretty well, but we have noticed that Bitcoin does tend to follow traditional markets a few days behind or a few days before. So we'll wait and see, guys. I'm not putting a whole lot of weight. Again, this pretty high volatility decline, this 6% drop in a day, that doesn't really concern me. Again, we moved up 10% in a day. We moved up 10% in a day. We moved up 5% in a day. Okay, when you move up really quickly like that for about a week, you're going to get a little bit of consolidation. So period of consolidation. I don't think that the strong directional trend is actually to the downside right here. If we do get a pop back up to 3,900, 4,000, I could potentially consider that a sell. Again, you can set your stop loss probably right at 41.85. Let's go over to BitMEX so we can actually calculate that a little bit better. Yeah, okay, so if we do actually get back up here to 3,900, 4,000, again, if you did want to take it to the short side, then you'd be okay with setting your stop loss here at this point in time. So that's going to be at 41.74. Why is it okay to set it there? Because you've already been stop hunted there, so it's not going to get stop hunted again. So if the trend is fundamentally bearish, then you're not going to go above that price. And if you do go above that price, then you were wrong, and price is fundamentally bullish. So speculating about which way again, here's the thing, guys. I'm a trader, so I'm going to wait for confirmation. If we're able to break out of this pattern, if we're able to break above these necklines, which I thought we were going to do, but we didn't do it on a closing basis. If we're able to close above these necklines of this inverted head and shoulders, then I assume the head and shoulders pattern will complete. That would also be a breakdown. So now we have this descending trend line from this high, this lower high. If we're able to form a higher high, okay, then we're bullish, guys, and I will react accordingly. Right now, we're just in a period of consolidation. I don't think that the fundamental trend is to the downside. I'm not sure that we are going to reverse this trend so far just yet. Fisher transform still above the zero line on the daily chart, so my bias remains fundamentally bullish at this point in time. We're below the point of control, so I'm looking for potential trades back up to the point of control, if not a slight breakthrough above. If you're overly concerned with which way the market's going to go in 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, you're going to be less successful as a trader, and you should probably just buy and hold Bitcoin. Again, I don't say that to be overly negative. Just direction is not as important as risk management and good trade setups, guys. It doesn't really matter which way the markets move if you want to be a trader. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look at shorts. Shorts a little bit on the decline, still a lot of dry powder. Not a whole lot has changed, honestly, in the longs and the shorts. Let's see here. Longs. Okay, so again, this is the 12-hour chart. So over Christmas, longs picked up a little bit. The last 12 hours kind of on the decline just a little bit right here. Let's look at the 1-hour chart and see if we see anything fundamentally interesting here. Yeah, longs pretty low. Longs got a lot of room to go, a lot of room to grow. Same on the shorts, man. Shorts are still relatively high compared to longs. But we've had a nice drop off from that death box that we did get rejected from here, and I did kind of redraw this just a little bit to take the new metrics into account. And also what I did is I added price, so I could actually look at the actual amount of money in longs and shorts rather than coins traded. Let's see here. So yeah, we did have that first area of support for shorts. We broke through that area of support, came back up to retest it as resistance, and then broke back down. So looking at this fundamentally, we have this area, which is acting as support right now, but I think that's probably pretty weak. I don't think that's probably going to hold. Let me turn that magnet mode off because it's pissing me off. There we go. I don't think that area is fundamentally strong. It only acted as support once, came back down. We'll probably crash through this on the first go through. So the next area of support for the shorts is going to be coming in right around here, around 34,441, meaning that the shorts have a little bit of a room to go. Probably we'll see a drop off of about 6% in the shorts here. And as for the longs, yeah, longs coming up to that first area of resistance right here. Yeah, longs coming up to that resistance right there. Broke through it, pulling back to test it as support anew. So hopefully this does turn into support, looking at this just fundamentally. And our next area of resistance, our next trouble area is going to be right here. So it looks like the longs have the better potential to actually grow right here, and it looks like the shorts have the better potential to actually fall off right here. What does that mean fundamentally for price? I think that price will most likely see a bounce at this point in time. Let's see here. Mr. Decipher X. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm worried about all the negative media on XRP. What's my thoughts? Well, I don't fundamentally like XRP. I think that you know, XRP ends up being a good, I don't know if I want to say it's a good investment. Again, you guys make your own investment decisions. I think XRP is a wonderful token to trade, highly volatile. Gold and silver going to run Bitcoin to 5,800, 6K. Hey, K7 Jixer, I'll take your word as gospel, man. You've been right about a lot of things, dude. So on BSV USDT on Bittrex shows a monster green volume bar on the 25th of December. However, the price did nothing. Is this bullish or accumulation? What do I think? 4-hour chart BSV. Let's take a gander at that. XLM looking like a good spot to bounce right here, and it is. So let's see. You do want BSV USDT on Bittrex. Okay. All right. So 25th of December, you said you saw a monster green volume bar. That is not a monster green volume bar. I'm sorry. It's not a monster green volume bar. It's not even above the moving average on volume. That's a monster green volume bar. That is a monster green volume bar. And it led to that follow through and a lot of sellers. Okay, so we've gone over BSV a little bit before. This doesn't look fundamentally a whole lot different from what I have charted out. Again, you have price right at the point of control right now at about $91.51. Point of control is actually at $91.11. Fisher transform also above zero here on the daily chart. You did have the Fisher transform cross. You did have that confirmed cross above zero right here. You don't, again, this is why you look at the daily chart to get your fundamental directional bias, and then you go down and you zoom down to actual 1 hour or 4 hour charts to be able to take a position. Again, you have your crossover for your first initial entry sign into BSV right here. And then you have kind of your double down or scale into your position right here as the Fisher transform reaches the zero line. You could either take it there speculatively or here on confirmation anytime right here. Let's actually go back up to that higher time frame. All right, so price did wick down to the 50% Fibonacci retracement and getting some significant sell pressure still right here, honestly. Just getting kind of beat up, honestly. So this would make sense for a likely area of support. Does it hold? I don't know. Not seeing the volume follow through right now. Need to see some nice buying right here. If we actually do get a really nice impressive buying spike right here and BSV actually bottoms above the zero line right here, that would be a strong call signal for me on BSV. Where's your first trouble area that you're going to be running into? Thank you. Oh, let's delete that. Not seeing a lot of All right, so here's how I'd play this out, man. BSV, if you wanted to take an entry right now based around the fact that you are hanging around the point of control, my stop loss would be right here. My stop loss would be at the low of the candle that broke through the point of control and initiated you into the bull cycle right here by crossing above the Fisher transform, by crossing above the zero line. If this is going to be just a general retracement and not an actual breakdown of the trend, you're going to know that you're wrong if price does go below that area, because you don't have any really strong support down here. And so you just have to wait, you know, for BSV to actually form some kind of significant support at these areas. Now, if it is able to actually form support right around here, now looking at how I like to do Fibonacci retracements, again, I'll do a Fibonacci retracement from here to the actual candle close. And again, we wick down to that 50% Fibonacci retracement. And that stop loss is going to be in between your 50% and your 618 Fibonacci retracement. Again, the weight that you can put on that is going to be dependent upon... it's a new asset, man, so it can do a whole lot of wild things. Now, if we actually do take the swing high to the swing low, we actually broke past the 618 and the 786, or excuse me, the 50% and the 618. So the stop loss would be blowing us past the 786 as well. So that's good confirmation there on that if you do actually take this big peak, this big volume bar into account right here, really where the selling pressure began. So typically when you're using Fibonacci, the way that I practice Fibonacci is if you do close down below the 786, again, every coin is a little different. So one thing that you want to do, and one of the reasons why it's more difficult to do technical analysis that is more valid on an asset that is so fresh and speculative like BSV. I mean, look at the market data that we have to occur. Every asset is different. So for example, you might find that in Bitcoin, for example, likes to respect the 88.6 Fibonacci retracement. But BSV, you have no idea what Fibonacci retracement it wants to respect or respond to. Every asset's different, man. You do have to trade everything slightly differently. Having one cookie cutter strategy and applying it across multiple markets is going to be less successful than if you actually learn the intricacies of the market that you're trading, the asset that you're trading, the underlying security that you're trading. Because there are different people that trade different things, and they're going to react and respond differently. And the chart patterns that you're going to be able to successfully play are going to be resultant upon how whatever asset or security that you're trading responds to those. So it's not like there are laws of technical analysis that work everywhere. I mean, there are general guidelines and rules. What are those rules? Long resistance and long support and short resistance and risk management. Those simple strategies are going to be congruent and applicable across all asset classes, all securities. But when you're looking at the intricacies of how to trade, Fibonacci, exponential moving averages, different assets are going to respond differently to different indicators and different strategies. So that's why you do want to actually do your own research. Any asset that you want to trade, like there are things that I like to trade. Like I don't really like to trade Ethereum. I like to trade XBT, USD perpetual swap and futures contracts, and I like to trade Ripple, and I like to trade Tron. I find that they respond very well to my technical analysis, and I'm very successful at trading them. When we trade altcoins, I like to trade Stellar Lumens. I like to trade BAT. There's a lot of other speculative things that I've traded, but when I'm looking for my go-tos for day trading, that's what I go to. I find that they respond to my technical analysis quite well, and it's incumbent upon you as a trader to find your own comfort zone, to find what works for you and what strategy works best for you. And if you want to start looking at something new, I think the biggest mistake that I find with beginner traders is that they're going to pull up a chart and they're going to be like, okay, so I'm just going to throw on Ichimoku and exponential moving averages. Hey, Lord Darthstar, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube. And they're going to throw on, you know, whatever indicator that they were just using on this other chart. And they're like, okay, well, I'm going to just take the same call signals. No, you need to actually like zoom back in the charts, do some analysis of how this thing responds to your call signals, and find out what your success ratio is had you been following them. Just backtest a little bit. It only takes an hour, guys. Let's see here. Hey, Crypto Core, do I see any correlation between the S&P 500 and cryptos, whether positive or negative? I mean, yes and no. The reality is that as the S&P 500 and the DJI and the other major indexes for the American stock market tumble down, it's going to significantly affect the rest of the global economy. I think that we are poised potentially on the edge of a recession, a very significant recession. I think we're going to see a continuation of the 2008 recession that government never fixed, never did anything but slap a Band-Aid on. And so we're actually going to have to face the repercussions and and negative downside potential of that. Now, do individuals look to cryptocurrency for a hedge? Most likely not in the immediate sense. I think that capitulation has not come yet, because capitulation is forced. Capitulation is an emotion. So, you know, everybody is kind of like looking at this and they're thinking that, like Bitcoin, for example, let's go look at Bitcoin. They're looking at Bitcoin and they're like, listen, man, I'm just going to hold my Bitcoin and I'm not going to capitulate because I know that that's the worst point in time. Well, the reality of the situation is that as the global economy continues to get worse, you will most likely be forced to capitulate at some point in time. Everybody thinks that they can kind of outsmart Wall Street, outsmart institutional traders, it's not even outsmarting institutions. It's just outsmarting people with longer time horizons than you. There's some things that you can't fake. There's some things that you cannot generate. And if you are in that position as a trader, as somebody who is financially free, Agartha Asgard, Hodl, hey, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for the subscription. If you are in that position of financial freedom, fantastic. That means you've made well-disciplined, intelligent decisions. But a lot of people are not in that position, and they are going to be negatively affected with the rest of the economy. And so most likely a lot of individuals will be forced to capitulate on their cryptocurrency holdings at some point in time if they have not already. The pain can get significantly worse, guys. I guess midterm time frame. Okay, so short-term time frame, I'm looking for opportunities to long scalp Bitcoin, or at least XBT. Midterm time frames, I'm waiting to potentially see if we do break and form a higher high here on the macro time, or excuse me, I guess on the meso time frames, on the lower end macro time frames, like the daily. I'd be waiting to see if we actually do get a break above something like 4,200, 4,400, and maybe we can get that movement up to 5,000. Again, I've charted out the inverted head and shoulders, 5,000, 5,500. On the macro time frames, on the weekly chart and on the monthly chart, I'm still incredibly bearish, and I think that we are going to go below 3,000. I think we most likely, I think that we will end up finding our bottom anywhere between 2,300 and 2,500 is the areas that I've charted out ad nauseum. Again, I'll do more of an analysis tomorrow. Again, I've done it just about every day. But again, it seems like for some weird reason, like Santa hacked into my TradingView account and deleted a lot of my charts. Not a lot of my charts, but so like here we go. We got the weekly logarithmic chart of Bitcoin. So yeah, I do have my green box buy territory down here for where I do think that Bitcoin bottoms. Again, that's coming in right around 27.98, 22.45 with that 88.6 Fibonacci retracement coming in right at $2,331.58. That is actually where Bitcoin bottomed back in 2014. So that's the areas that I'm looking at. I also have this time dilation fractal, again, putting us down here around the, actually, excuse me, this is actually 1 week. I do need to change this and move this 1 bar forward. So this actually needs to be, yep, the week of the 14th, October 2019, Q3 2019. That would be the same period from the absolute high to the breakdown point at 6,000. So that's the fractal that I'm looking at there for time dilation. And we'll see how that plays out. Again, we did get that nice one thing that I was talking about here too as well. If we go here and look at the bigger time frames, yes, we did come back. We broke down through that logarithmic trend line. We spent 2 weeks below it actually, and then we had 1 week coming back up to it, and then the current weekly candle has gone up and wicked up and rejected from it. So we've got a double rejection off that logarithmic trend line that has never been broken in Bitcoin's history except for a couple weeks ago, and now we are below that as well. So hard to be bullish, you know, for the long term until we break above and form a, you know, again, look at the weekly chart. We're still not able to close a weekly candle higher than our previous highs. And so until that point, we're just forming lower highs. Now, again, I would still be looking for an opportunity to take this to the long side on a scalp basis. Again, that's just the trade that I look at, looking at the first pullback again to test this support area in a significant way. Dark SH and Jeff Welch, thanks so much for the subs on YouTube, guys. Welcome to the community. Whether I look for 3,900 as a shorting opportunity depends on price action and volume when we get up there. Again, it's I do like how this inverted head and shoulders plays out. Bitcoin does have a good history of allowing inverted head and shoulders to play out, and it does reward individuals that do take those trades. But I actually do need to see a right shoulder form significantly on something like a daily time frame. As we can see here, the left shoulder did form quite nicely on a daily time frame. The head did form quite nicely on a daily time frame. The right shoulder did not form nicely on a daily time frame, and that's why if you go back to Monday's video, although I was tentatively bullish, I did say that, hey guys, if this is going to be the right shoulder formation, that's ugly as hell, guys. That's ugly as hell. I do like this a little bit better. That more significant pullback. And again, that's what I was kind of talking about in my videos over the weekend, where I was saying, okay, I'd prefer to see a pullback to 3,500, and then I would look at that as an opportunity to go long. So that would have actually been a pullback down here to this region to test these areas as support, which we never pulled back to test. Again, all we're doing right now is pulling back to test this previous like 1 12-hour candle pullback as support. So do we get a little bit of a bounce here? Yeah, more likely. And then again, I'm biased to consider 3,900 a sell, honestly, but because I don't feel strongly about it, do you know what that says to me as a trader? It means I'm not going to take a position. So I don't have to be in position. I don't have to be in the market. I don't have to trade every day. I don't have to take every setup, regardless of how attractive it may or may not seem, unless it fits all my qualifications. So discipline, guys. Discipline and risk management, and you'll be a good trader. Let's see here. Ian Jameson says, as a non-trader, is accumulating Ethereum at this time a good idea if I'm planning to hold for a year or two? Let's go take a look over at the Ethereum chart. I want to say yes. All right. Do I think accumulating Ethereum at this point in time is a good idea? Listen, here's the thing. I'm going to feel much more confident saying this about, I'll feel much more confident saying this about Bitcoin. So I'll just give you my investment strategy for Bitcoin. Again, the capital that I have allocated for my portfolio to be a long-term holder of Bitcoin. Again, I did initially buy a little bit of Bitcoin back at 5,000. I bought a little bit of Bitcoin back at 4,000. I will buy a little bit more Bitcoin if we go to 3,000, and then that is about, I would say, about 30% of the portion of my portfolio that I have allocated to Bitcoin. So the other 70% of my buys are going to be stationed between 3,000 and 1,500. Now, I do have Hail Mary buys set down there all the way down to 1,500. I will cancel those out and scale into Bitcoin as Bitcoin hopefully finds a bottom around 2,331. But down to that 2,331, I'll only be 50% in. So that is my personal investment strategy. And again, that has nothing to do with the allocation of my portfolio that I have sequestered to trading. So different investment and trading. So looking at Ethereum, let's go look at the weekly chart. It's been a while since I've done my long-term analysis on Ethereum. Okay, so yeah, we did enter into that gap trade zone, guys, that I was talking about a while ago. I don't know why that line's on the chart. Let's get rid of that bobby pin right there. Yeah, so unfortunately, if you're dollar cost averaging, you're dollar cost averaging in the way that I am for Bitcoin. Again, I won't be doing that for Ethereum because I don't fundamentally believe in Ethereum. I fundamentally believe in Bitcoin. So again, take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, because again, if you don't like the answer that you get from me, I'm sure you can go over and listen to somebody who's really bullish on Ethereum and get the correct answer for them. But I'm speculative about Ethereum's long-term sustainability, and you know, whether that's just my position, guys. So I mean, obviously, you know, Ethereum, what, 85, 90% down from its all-time high. So, you know, looking at it from that lens, yes, but our next area of support that we have coming in for Ethereum, again, we were able to actually find a little bit of support. We just barely missed that. We just barely missed that danger zone right there at $77, where actually the value area just drops off. Closing below $77, we will go to $52, $50. Closing below $53, we most likely go to $41. So right now, again, you're underneath on the weekly time frame as well. Let's take some more market data in here just so I'm sure that I get everything. Okay, so yeah, looking at the weekly time frame, you do have your point of control coming in here around $212.72. So just like with Bitcoin underneath 6,000, it's hard for me to be hardcore bullish at this point in time until I see a capitulation, which I think will happen around 2331 in that mid 2,000, lower 2,000 range. Or until we actually close back above that $6,000 area, which was our previous breakdown zone. Until then, we're still in bearish territory until capitulation or actual close above previous resistance, which was significant resistance, or excuse me, significant support, which will turn into significant resistance in the future. So kind of the same story for Bitcoin, or excuse me, for Ethereum around $200. Again, that point of control on the weekly time frame coming in around $212.72. Again, until you are able to close above that, you're fundamentally bearish. If Ethereum gets down to like $50, $40, then I start to feel like, okay, this now becomes like a good area to be entering in. But the advice that I would give you, and again, you know, do your own research, make your own unique investment decisions and strategies. But I would be more kin to pay a premium on Ethereum, knowing that it has entered into something like a bull cycle when it does actually close above $212. And perhaps that's the best approach to be taking for Bitcoin. But I fundamentally believe in Bitcoin, and so I'm willing to take a speculative investment and put my portfolio at risk, at least the allocation of my portfolio that I do have to Bitcoin. So yeah, I would wait until we're above $212.72 to begin scaling into a long-term long position on Ethereum. Until that point, I'll just be taking speculative scalps and looking for opportunities to sell, which on the weekly time frame. 1 second, guys. All right, guys. All right, so I've been live for about an hour, so let's get to the charts, man. Hey, Agartha Asgard, thank you so much. Echo 5127, literally Bitcoin is at a standstill. I don't fundamentally, well, thank you for your comment, man. I don't fundamentally agree with that. I think Bitcoin is one of the most liquid, volatile assets to trade right now. Question, what's going to happen here in the short term? You think it's going to drop more or bump up? Again, let's go over to the XBT chart. Again, this is the trade that I'd be looking at right now, is the long from this area to 3,900. Alan Greenspan has a lot to answer for. They will stick another Band-Aid on it, I bet. Yeah, yep, I agree with you, man. Thanks, Cryptocore, man. Sup, dog? Shall I take the lead? What is it now? Still, hey, gotta watch crypto. Hey, what's going on, man? The lead is, shoot, what is that? It's still, Mr. Here, let me pull up some Streamlabs. Patrick Young. It's still Patrick Young. Yep, he donated 25 Canadian yesterday, which is about $19 USA. So, good to see you, man. How you doing, Mr. Ether? Pinky and a brain. Pinky and a brain. I like that, man. This is TradingView. If I have $5,000 and I'm holding Bitcoin, what other tokens will I buy? I mean, probably Ethereum, Stellar Lumens, Tron. Yasir says, yes, sir. Ilyas AJ says, Dash USD. 12, 22, 2020, Dream. I feel you, man. Hey, bro, could you take a look at TRX? I went all in at 0.01288. Sadly, didn't short at 0.023 levels. Still holding for now because I expect this to go up a bit more in the short term pre the 1st of January. Okay, I'll take a look, man. I have Bitcoins, too, for holding long term that I bought recently. Yep, not a bad idea. XRP. A lot of people asking for XRP. So I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to take a quick 1 to 2 minute break. Again, I do want to keep today's video short, but I will take a look at XRP and TRX. And then I'm gonna go back and hang out with my family a little bit. So I'll be back in about 2 minutes, take a quick break, grab some water, and I'll take a look at XRP and TRX, guys. First, and then obviously I'll pay the bills and we'll talk about how you guys can support the stream. So you guys have been fantastic. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, guys? And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Again, sorry for Twitch not working appropriately today. We'll get that figured out tomorrow for tomorrow's live stream, which should be back at our normal scheduled time. All right, let's see here. Okay, man. Let's take a look at that TRX and XRP. We'll start with XRP. And we'll go ahead and look at XRP USD on Finex. That's where I normally do my XRP USD charting. And we're going to switch this over to look at the Fisher transform. Again, I got to get this set back up the way it's normal. Again, I think Santa hacked in and changed some of my settings. That's all right. Okay. All right, so yeah. XRP USD did actually cross above the 0 line on the Fisher transform. Gave you your call signal right here on this nice kind of green candlestick right here. That didn't have a lot of volume follow through, but that's all right. You do have some nice bullish volume here, and of course you do see relatively your I mean, it's not exactly the blow off top that you would be massively excited to see, but you do see down here, you do see a nice green spike in volume congruent with the very top of your uptrend right here. XRP USD on the way up, kind of looking like Bitcoin, honestly, where you do have your breakdown zone right here. You do have your previous breakdown zone right here. And then that is going to be acting as your resistance area. Now, you were actually able to close a daily candle above that area, but then you just kind of retraced immediately. So this doesn't overall look terribly horrible, honestly, looking at XRP. Let's zoom in here a little bit. We do actually see, you know, if you guys want just an indication of the power of the point of control, you can actually see where on a daily chart where XRP USD did wick up to, kind of on that blow off top on that green candle, on that green nice green candle with the volume right here. Did actually run all the way up to that point of control, and then that would have been obviously your optimum area to be shorting from, that previous resistance zone that I had charted out right here. So XRP USD consolidating a little bit. It seems right back in that previous resistance breakdown order block right here. Wick down all the way to find support on your supportive order block that I had charted out right here. So let's see here. So the Fisher transform is above the 0 line right here. Didn't really make it all the way up to a significant area of standard deviation again. You do see right here about 1.6 standard deviations away from the 0 line right here is an area of recent resistance on the Fisher transform. That was where you turned around right here on your uptrend. It was also where you turned around right here on your secondary upthrust after that kind of tether blow up right here. On that tether blow up, you actually did reach almost 3 standard deviations away from the Fisher transform. So again, kind of the same thing. I look at this as an area, as a speculative buy. This is an area where I would like to take a position on XRP USD, at least in the short term right here. Again, as long as the Fisher transform is above the 0 line, I give it the opportunity, I give it the benefit of the doubt that it is going to remain in its positive wave cycle right here. Let's see. So looking for an opportunity for the Fisher to actually bottom above 0 is what I'd be looking for. That'd be a strong call for me on the daily chart. So let's zoom in here a little bit. On the daily chart, looking at this, I would probably be looking for, seeing as we've wicked down to this area before, I'd probably be looking for an entry between this area. So let's see, that's actually going to be putting us between 36 cents and 37 cents, be looking for a potential entry right there. Again, if we zoom in a little bit on the daily chart, we can actually see that the point of control, the local point of control, is actually at 38 cents. So if we close below that, on a daily closing basis, again, Still looking for that area to potentially take a speculative entry for. And where would your stop loss be? Probably right here at the bottom of your supportive order block right here. Probably be placing a stop loss right, I mean a really tight stop loss at 35 cents. Again, that's when you're going to know immediately that you're wrong. If you close below that 35 cents, then all this kind of becomes bupkis, and you're most likely looking to enter into a short and take that down. That would probably be congruent with the Fisher transform crossing below the zero line on the daily time frame. Let's go to the hourly chart and see if we can actually get a decent setup. Okay, yep, so exact same thing here. Yep, so be looking for a speculative entry around this area right here, kind of where we're at, honestly. If we are able to actually close above the local point of control here, looking at the 1 hour chart, above that 38 cents, that's a call signal for me. You have kind of overlying, let's get rid of these and redo these as take profit targets. Again, we hit all these take profit targets on the way up for my last XRP USD trade. Let's see here, and now just moving back into this consolidation period right here. So kind of sitting in the same period as XRP USD. Again, I'd prefer to get confirmation on which way that I want to take this, but still just looking at this the way that I am, I do look at this as a speculative area to entry. We are coming back down to a support level, so when we come back down to a support level, I do look to take longs. When we come up to resistance areas, I do look to take shorts. So looking at this right now, coming back to this double support level right here, I would be looking for a speculative entry. This area has already been swept, so my stop loss would be again right down here around 0.3539. That would let me know immediately if I'm wrong in my speculation that I should be taking this to the long side. You can wait for confirmation. You can wait for an hourly close above 38 cents. 0.38238 to be taking this to the long side. You do have upside targets now of where your first areas that you're going to run into trouble. 39.86 cents, 41.18 cents, 43.751 cents, and then of course you come back up into your distribution order block area of resistance between 45 and 47 cents. Getting above that, you have to become quite bullish because then this is no longer the top of an uptrend. You're actually going to be forming a higher high on your daily time frame basis. So got a lot of room to get there. Got a lot of room, obviously, to cover before you do get back up to that area. But coming back down into this zone, this does look like a buy for me, at least on this first come through, pulling back from that resistance area. This does look like a buy for me. Now, whether it ends up being a short-term trade, again, I'd be looking to take profits at 39, 41, and 43. Then if you are able to get above 47, probably double back down on the trade. And then setting a stop loss around there, around that 35 cent area. Again, you're going to be able to know immediately if you're wrong in your bias. Closing below that 35 cent area, I most likely wait for a pullback to test that 35 cent area, come back to that point of control, because the point of control will probably shift down to that area at that point in time with the massive amount of selling that would accrue upon a sell and a close, at least on a daily basis, below that 35 cents. And that's gonna be able to hedge your risk, or excuse me, to manage your risk quite nicely. So yeah, looking at XRP, I am going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Wait for that. Again, you can either wait for the close above the point of control, and that would probably be congruent with your Fisher transform crossing above that zero line right there. Again, as long as on the daily time frame we are above the zero line on the Fisher transform, I do have to give XRP USD the benefit of the doubt and expect that it will stay in the positive aspect of its wave cycle. If we do come back down below that zero line, then that is congruent, most likely at this point in time, with a close below that 35 cent support level. And then I'd be looking for an opportunity to enter into a short. All right, so TRX. Let's see here. Yasir Gajar, I'm not sure what you're talking about, my friend. I'll let Scott get with you. Feel free to DM either myself or Scott in the Discord. We can help get you set up, or hopefully understand what you're asking for. Sarub Shukla, hey, looking awesome, dude. Thank you, man. Nitin Soki asks, could I check out BCHZ18? Yeah, sure, man. Like lambs to the slaughter, theory says. Okay, let's check out that TRX. I assume you want to look at TRX BTC. All right, so this was the last time I had looked at TRX BTC. Let's look at the daily chart right here. Yes, we kind of do see that exact same thing. Again, all this kind of looks quite similar. We do have a significant breakdown zone right here where we do actually have a very high volume node. TRX actually looks a little bit more impressive because looking at the daily chart, looking at this long period of consolidation from August, honestly, to December, we did put in this massive high volume node of accumulation, as we can see. And then we do have this nice... So look, you can just see, here's our point of control down here at 362 Satoshis. I think actually the person was asking, I think he was referring to dollar terms. So I'll look at that in USDT terms as well. But just to give you an overview, because this is what you would be trading on BitMEX, you'd want to be looking at the TRX BTC chart to trade that swap option, man. You did close above the right here. As soon as you closed above the point of control, you got the secondary call signal right here, closing above the point of control, and then the Fisher transform crossing above the zero line right here, and that would have allowed you to capture all of this movement using that double call signal, the close above the point of control. Actually, so let's look at this right here. You do have the daily crossover of the Fisher transform right here confirmed on this candle. That's also a daily close above your point of control. Where would you have been managing risk at that point in time? Again, you can see that I do have that buy box right there. Probably managing risk at this lower point of control well, since this area is already swept, you probably would have been managing risk right here at 342 Satoshis. So that would have kept you in the trade quite well. Again, you'd have to zoom down to the daily chart to actually figure out your trade. But then you entered into this ascending channel, you broke through that, had this massive blow off top, this huge run up on TRX, and TRX holding up quite nicely. I mean, obviously moving into consolidation, but just a shit ton of buying, honestly. But I do bit right here. Again, I do have my arrow pulling us down to at least that 382 Fibonacci retracement. That's going to be kind of your first supportive level right here. Actually, I guess a more significant pullback would be to test this previous area as support. So that would actually be a pullback back here to around your 387 and your 419 Fibonacci retracement, or excuse me, your 50% and your 618 Fibonacci retracement, which is also going to be congruent with the top of your value area and your breakout point right there. And you can see where you did run into resistance again. We had this previous point of control right here, and that is actually where you did get rejection from. Now, looking at this fundamentally, this does look like a sell to me, but TRX just holding up so well. Again, you kind of want to get confirmation. I mean, we do have the crossover on the Fisher transform right here. Would have had you out of that long trade right here. But again, the Fisher transform is above the zero line, so as long as that is the case, I do give it the benefit of the doubt and look for it to actually bottom above the zero line, and that would be my secondary entrance. So I would definitely be out of this trade right now, just based upon the massive profits that you've been able to accrue on that movement up. I mean, that was a nice 40% movement, and again, you had that previous return to the point of control to get you out of the trade. You had obviously take profit targets right here on that breakout because this is a resistance order block. You weren't able to get above your significant resistance order block. Getting above this, if you are actually able to rally here and continue up above 554, 521 Satoshis, that becomes a very strong call signal for me. And then you got your upward targets of, let's see here, 612 Satoshis and 721 Satoshis. So TRX looking pretty strong, but I would expect it to actually come back down a little bit from here and exhaust a little bit. Just give it a little bit of a breathing room, let individuals trade hands, let coins trade hands, and then we'd be looking for a stronger entry below in these areas. So we'll just wait on TRX. We'll kind of keep updated with this. I don't see a buy signal right now. Definitely be looking for this as an opportunity to sell on your position. Maybe take a short position down here to potentially 451, maybe even 420 Satoshis, and then we'll just kind of reevaluate as we come back down and hopefully find support around these areas. Those would become buys for me. Looking at TRX USDT. Yeah, TRX USDT, kind of the same thing. Again, I had charted this out as well. We are coming back up on the dollar valuation, or at least on the tether valuation, back up to that previous point of control. Got rejection from that, so this is a sell for me right now. Again, we are getting the daily Fisher transform crossover right here, and of course, the Fisher transform is above the zero line. So as long as that is the case, I look for an opportunity for us to actually bottom above the zero line. Looking at the Fisher transform, I do see that the value area really dies off around here around around 1.897 cents. So if we're able to close a daily candle below that, that becomes a short for me because we are actually entering into an LVM, and I don't really see support for us until probably this area right here, which would be a previous resistance that we broke out of. We can delete that because we did hit 3 of my take profit targets there before running back into that point of control. So looking for support around 1.565 cents. That would be your first supportive area right there, looking for a potential entry right there. Hopefully that would be congruent with the Fisher transform bottoming above 0. But yeah, if we are actually able to, if we close below this value area, that's going to be a sell for me down to the support area. If we're able to close above our point of control right here and we get a cross, we get a bottom above the 0, which would be congruent with all that, then that becomes a call signal for me. Now we have, let's add a new take profit target right here just so we can actually have a short-term target. Up 0.1 cents and 3.3 cents, and then ultimately back to test our point of control right here around 0.36 cents, take profit target at 0.37 cents. Star Wars Worlds, Apollo is going up. Hey, what's going on, Prakar? '19 is the year for XRP, Apollo, Tron, BNB, and XLM. Right on, man. To use the Fisher Transform multi-TF, I need to get Pro Trading View. Nope, you do not. The Fisher Transform, this particular implementation of the Fisher Transform was given to me by Alex and developed by a friend of his. So we do offer the Pine script to premium subscribers. You could talk to Alex about getting access to that. But we do have it posted in our resource channel and in our resource library for all premium subscribers. Let's see here. Hey, thanks, man. 12/20/2020 Dream. Love your TA. Thank you, man. So at this very moment, do you suggest at this very moment, yes, for me to sell my TRX and rebuy at a lower target tether-wise, and about what target you recommend? Thank you, though. Hey, no problem. So yeah, looking at the tether price, yes, I would definitely be looking for this as an opportunity to... This is how I would take the trade. I would definitely be out of this trade right now, and I would be looking to rebuy around 0.01565 would be my first area to buy. Let's go down to the hourly chart and go down and look at that area, and where would I be managing risk yet at that point in time? Probably be managing risk here. But do you want to blindly buy when you get down to 0.1565? No, you kind of want to reevaluate when price gets to that level because it is possible that you would actually get a better stop loss hunt setup. You just have to wait for price to consolidate down around that level and then kind of wait for a bottom to form, wait for a resistance to form, and then you have a clear defined area where you want to buy the breakout of resistance and buy the So I would not blindly buy this. Just looking at this right now, the setup would probably be a buy at 0.1565, managing risk at 0.1511. Let's see, that's going to give you... It's going to give you about 3.63 gap. So I would not blindly buy. I'd wait for price to come down there and consolidate and form something like this, where you do have a nice defined support area. Just kind of like you have right here. You have a triple test of support. Now that goes out the window if we are, let's go back up to the daily chart. That goes out the window if we're able to close here above, if we're able to close above 0.22. Because that's going to be closing a close above the point of control and congruent with a crossover on the Fisher Transform, a bottom above 0. If that does happen, then I'm looking to take a buy right there, probably managing risk. It depends on what candle actually breaks that out. So whatever candle breaks this out, I'm probably setting my stop loss at the bottom, at the low of that candle, because that would let me know that the trend has reversed and this is not a breakout, it's a fake out. But we've already had 2 tests of that forming higher highs. If that does happen, then my upside targets are going to be 0.28, 0.31, 0.33, and 0.37. Taking a speculative buy down here, my take profit targets remain the same, except for now I look for take profit targets at 0.175 as well and 0.20. Hopefully that's helpful, man. Again, I would not blindly buy this coming on the way down. I would wait to see price consolidate around this area. But yes, I would definitely be looking for a sell right now at this point in time and look to either buy the breakout here or look to speculatively buy the retracement back to 0.1565, this retest of resistance as support. All right, that's all I got, guys. I got to go spend some time with my family. Again, sorry for the short show, but I did just want to hop on and give you guys an update. Again, just to clarify my position on XBT, this does look like a speculative buy for me. Potential look for a movement back up to 3,900. That would be my take profit target. Somewhere around that 39 area. Once we get into this resistance area around 39.80, 39.30, I do potentially look for a short, but again, I don't feel super strong about that. I would want to wait and see what price does because that's how I do trade. I do need to see confirmation. All right. So you can either manage risk on that long trade at 36.70 or 36.41. All right. That's all I got. Let's go over here. Boom. All right, guys. As always, you guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's talk about how you guys can support the stream if you guys would like to. Again, if you are new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell because we are here live every day giving you a breakdown of the markets. If you would like to come over to twitch.tv/crackingcrypto and give us a follow, we would highly appreciate that. Again, we're not streaming on Twitch today due to technical issues, but we will be back on Twitch tomorrow. If you guys have Amazon Prime, you guys can give us a Prime subscription on Twitch. No cost to you. Gives us a couple bucks. Helps us keep the lights on. We highly appreciate that. You guys can also check out our Patreon, or what I would recommend is that you guys head over to cryptocurrency.com, which is our website. A lot of fantastic resources on the website. Head over to the merch store, guys. You guys can really support us there. Get you guys family some late Christmas presents, guys. Some belated Christmas presents. New Year's Eve is coming up. You can always get them some New Year's Eve presents as well. If you guys go over to accessories, mugs, and drinkware, I would highly recommend the Cracking Crypto HODL mug right here, baby. This contrast mug. This is the one that I drink my morning coffee out of, and the scientific reports that I have from our associates do say that drinking your morning coffee out of this cup will make you 85% more successful in your trading and 95% more attractive to the opposite sex or the same sex. No judgments here. However you guys want to live your life, it's totally cool, guys. We do get a little bit of a kickback from the sale of the merch. Helps us keep the lights on, and we do highly appreciate the support, guys. You guys have been fantastic and awesome. If you guys would like to join the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group, you will get access to the private Discord. You will get access to the private Members Lounge chat room where you can chat with all the analysts and traders of Cracking Cryptocurrency as well as all the other premium subscribers. You will get access to the VIP day trading voice chat. You will get access to all our trade signals and trade setups that we all make, that we do take. With posted entries, exits, risk management, charting, full justifications, take profit targets as well. They are designed to serve as a baseline for you to develop your own trading strategy. However, we do have a very successful success rate with our calls and signals. Moving into, you would also get access to the resource library where you get access to webinars, cryptocurrency trading courses, traditional trading courses, courses on risk management, workbooks, PDFs, everything you guys could need to help transform yourself into a successful trader. You also get access to the Cracking Cryptocurrency trading webinar series where we do put out a webinar every week. Just get a little bit more intimate with our subscribers and let them ask questions and strategy, whether it be risk management, particular indicators, horizontal support and resistance, entries and exits, take profit targets, hedging, managing risk, etc., etc. Our last webinar was on the Fisher Transform. We're going to be doing another more advanced webinar on the Fisher Transform, as that one was just an introduction. Our previous webinars do go over volume profile, session volume, volume profile, risk management. So our next two webinars are going to be on the Fisher Transform and risk management session 2. So looking forward to that, guys. Still for the month of December, let's actually go there. Sorry, my bad. Trading services and trading group. For the month of December, it is still on sale. You can get a subscription to the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group for $80 for the month of December. It is on sale. The regular price is $100 a month. So we look forward to having you guys join us in the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to leave any thoughts, opinions, questions, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats in the comment section down below, or you can can reach us at contact@krakencryptocurrency.com. Fill out the contact us form on our website or DM any admin or moderator in the Discord. We're fairly easy to get a hold of, guys. As always, you guys have been fantastic and awesome. I highly appreciate all of you joining me. I want to give a shout out to everybody. Oh shoot, Nitin Soki, I'm sorry, BCHZ18. Nitin, I gotta run, man. But I'll tell you what, I will give me a little bit, and I'll post up a chart in the members lounge, in the premium Discord, man. 1222 Dream, thank you so much, man. Thank you for joining us. Star World's nice, thank you. VP, what's going on, man? You guys have been fantastic and awesome. Thank you much for your support. Nitin, I will post up that chart for you. Just give me a little bit, and I'll get to it for you, man. In fact, I'll probably just DM you so I can be more specific with you as a subscriber and figure out where you're trying to roll with the trade. All right, I gotta go. I gotta run, man. You guys have been fantastic and awesome. Hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas. Hope you guys are having a good time with your family out there, and I hope the markets are treating you well, guys. Until tomorrow, I've been Justin Wise, cracking cryptocurrency.